Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final day, the final part, of my state amateur championship recap. So far I have covered two parts of my recap. I hope you enjoyed them. The games were interesting, and my score for my score up till now was 3.5 out of 6 until day 2. Now day 3 was I would say, I don't know, it's like a 50-50, 50% was good and 50% was bad. So I won't butter up much, and I will just jump right into the game. So in the so like wait. So like in day 3, when I was 3.5 out of 6 in the 7th round, I was going to face Ajay Ghayal, an underrated player, and he had a great performance, I would say, because I checked his profile, like in the FIDE, in the FIDE, like in the chess results thing, like so far his performance until 7th round, and he managed to score two wins against a 1600, two wins or three wins against a 15 against 1578, 1500 rated players, draw against a 1600 rated player, and he was in great form. So I was like, okay, I need to be careful against this guy. So I was like, okay. I was playing with the black pieces, and today he was going to play with the white. So he started off with d4. Now before this game, before this game, I had checked his chess.com profile, and I saw that he only played d4 with white. So I was like, okay, I will make preparation against this. So at least in opening, I kind of survived. So I played d5. Bishop, he played bishop f4, so he was like going for the London. I was like, okay, knight f6, e3, bishop f5, knight d2, and now e6. Now, obviously, my idea is to go bishop b6 next. Also, I was thinking about c5 after, let's say like knight f3. If let's say knight gf3 or anything possible. So yeah, he went knight gf3, and I was like, okay, let's play bishop d6. My idea. And now he is surprisingly went c3. I don't know why, because I was like, okay, I can take the bishop, right? Why is he is he like why is he blocking, like is ruining his pawn structure here? I was like, okay, I will take. He took, and now I castled and bishop e2, and now I guess he could have. Now I was like, okay, should I go with rook e8, or should I go with c5? I could also go knight bd7, and because knight bd7, if knight e5, then maybe, I don't know, maybe I can take and then maybe go with knight e4 idea, something like that. So I was like, okay, this plan looks good, so I went knight bd7. He went knight e5, exactly what I thought. I took, and now knight e4. So I have followed my plan, and now bishop f3. So now here I was calculating. Here I was thinking like, okay, now what should I do? Now should I go with queen g5? Because queen g5, I was thinking a lot. I was also thinking about, if what if I take queen takes, and then let's say bishop g6. But I was like, okay, this is also one plan. And I was also thinking about c5, but I was like, okay, no, he can just simply take my knight, and after, let's say, pawn takes, he can just simply grab my pawn. So I was like, okay, this plan doesn't work. So I was like, okay, let's go with queen g5, and he took my knight. I took back with the bishop, and now he went queen e2, and now here I took some like 9 minutes of thoughts, 9 or 8 minutes, something like that. I was so much of thinking about queen takes g2, which was actually the best move in this position. The best move here in the position is queen takes g2 indeed. I was like, okay, should I take the pawn? But then I calculated. What I calculated was, if I take, let's say I take, he castles, and then I was like, okay, the rooks are coming, this is not looking good. Let's say for example, I pull back, it's gonna come here, and then the coin, and then, I mean, this was something which I was thinking. So I was like, okay, no, seems risky, I should have gone there, but I decided to go queen g6, which was a mistake, because yeah, I mean, this was not a good move. And queen takes, I was like, okay, decided to trade off the queens, and now this pawn endgame is kind of good for white, because my pawn is weak, this pawn is weak. Now, I mean, he castled. I went f5 to protect, and after takes, pawn takes, rook e1, f5. I was like, at that time, I was like, okay, I think this is defendable. I offered a draw. Sorry, yeah, I offered him a draw, but he rejected. Obviously, why would he accept when he has this type of double pawn, if he has created some weakness like this? So I was like, okay, takes, he plays rook takes c6, took, and a rook e1, and here I played king g7. So my idea was after king g7, if rook e7, I can play rook f7, and after, let's say, takes, this pawn endgame is winning for me. Not winning, I mean, it's a draw for me. So rook e7, he played as per the plan. I went and he takes, and here I made the losing mistake in this entire position. Now if I show you this position, it's like almost like it's a draw. It's a draw. Like, at least it's playable. Yeah, it's a draw. As you can see, it's a draw position, completely draw, until I played the move rook e8. This was a huge blunder because I should have taken, and here I was also thinking, before I offered a rook trade, I was thinking whether I should exchange the rooks or should I go check and then maybe try to keep the rooks alive, or maybe just play king f6. But I was like, but I was afraid that because he got 4 versus 3 here, and I was like, can be a risky plan, but and then I was like, okay, I don't want any risky plans, but this was the ultimate losing move of the entire game. And he immediately accepted the trade, and I think he well calculated the position. I went c6, played some waiting moves. Here he played d5, takes, and here when I took on d5 and king takes f5, this was again, now this was again, it was a bad decision by my opponent. He shouldn't have taken the pawn, because now after I took my pawn, he blundered again, and it's a draw. Again, it's a draw. Not a draw. I mean, not here at this point. Not here. I think at this point, when I saw the position, wait, what? Because when I saw this position, I was like, because okay, yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. So actually, the problem was when I saw this position. Okay, when I saw this position after the game, this was actually a draw. This was actually a draw. I don't know why Engine is now saying that it's not a draw, because I mean, but on a human perspective, I think what I should have done was to play b5. I should have played b5, trying to play some waiting moves, but I went for the wrong plan. Here I was thinking that should I go king d4, king d3 like that, but yeah, this was a wrong plan to follow, and yeah, this was just losing, completely losing. I was like, okay, I have a pass pawn, even he has a pass pawn, but this was not going to work. And yeah, yeah, after king c2, and he very well converted the game, and after king c2, I resigned the game because it's forced maintenance. So I was disappointed because I was like, yeah, I think I might have had something, but yeah, I just blundered. And right after the game, I was when I was analyzing, I was like, when I saw that rook e8 where offering the rook trade was a wrong plan, it was only losing. I was like, oh man, I shouldn't have. I don't know why that thing didn't came into my head. Like at this point, like at this point, this one was bad from me. I shouldn't have offered a rook trade here. I guess what I should have done, simply just to go either rook g8 check, or maybe even like king f6, because king f6 also doesn't allow rook to come on e7, so this could have been also a plan. Also, I'm trying to defend my pawn, and after king f6, I could have just gone rook g8 and tried to go. But yeah, unfortunate game, and I had my second loss, and this was a very poor loss against this guy. And this guy performed very well, extremely well in this tournament. I'm not gonna lie, played extremely well. He managed, he calculated very well, and yeah, he was a very good player. And so now I was 3.5 out of 7. So now I had to try to go for the last two matches for a win. So I was like, okay, I'm determined for the win. And the next game, I was facing another unrated girl, unrated player. She's a girl. Her name is Ashira Thare, and I saw her. tournament performance so far, and she wasn't having great form against rated players. I was like, okay, I think I might have some chance against her. So okay, wait, let me turn off the analysis. So I started off with e4. In every white games I'm only playing e4, and she played for e5, and I was like, okay, maybe I have a chance I can play my weapon opening against her. So I played knight f3, she played knight c6, and here I played c3, the Ponziani. This is my weapon. I always play my weapon again whenever given a chance in any tournament. So I was like, okay, she gave me a chance. So yeah, she went knight f6. Now here I mean she should have gone d5, but she went knight f6, which is a normal natural move. I went d4. She took on d4. I went d4, d5, and here my opponent surprised me with a move, an insane move, which I was like, what? What is he doing? Knight takes e5. Just gave me the knight. I think what she thought that after knight takes she has this pin, but she forgot that I have queen e2. So I grabbed the knight. And I took queen e2 to 7. I played queen e2. Takes, and now d5, and I went back knight f3 and offering a queen trade, but obviously she was going to play bishop e6. So I went bishop g5, castles. So far so good. And here again she went g6, and I was like, again a surprising move, but I was like, okay, I don't think I will be able to win the knight because after bishop g7 this is just completely, yeah. It's like queen e5, bishop g7, and I mean here I was calculating a lot. Here I calculated a lot, like I guess I took some 6 minutes, exact 6 minutes, and I was very much focused on knight takes d5. Is it working? Because I was at that point I was like, okay, I can take bishop takes. Bishop can't take because I can take the queen, so queen is a loose piece, so I will just take advantage of the loose piece. I can take, and after takes he can't take with a knight because of bishop takes queen. But I also forgot that my queen is also hanging, so after bishop takes queen I was also calculating bishop takes rook, but then yeah, I mean this was these things I was calculating a lot, and I don't know if she will find this like I don't know if she will calculate much and she will just take some rash decision. So I was like, okay, knight takes d5. I went for it. But here actually what she could have done, she should have just take my knight. Or maybe not even taking my knight, I guess. I guess what she should have done was after takes, I think at some point here, I don't know, maybe let's say knight takes let's say knight takes knight, bishop takes, bishop takes, bishop takes rook. This was actually I was calculating, but here she went queen c5, which was a, I don't know, I missed that move. I completely missed that move, but I was like, okay, knights. I always got knight c3, and after she traded off, and yeah, I'm safe now. She went rook d5, which was the best move, and she played extremely well this. She calculated very much this move, so I was like, okay, queen e3, offering queen trade, queen goes to c6, and I was like, okay, 95, 94. This, this, what are you going to do? As and she played queen b6, which was I was like, what? She's giving me the rook. I was like, okay, wait, I won't capture the rook first. I will first capture the knight, because if I capture the rook, what I was calculating was after I capture the rook, she'll capture back with the knight, and this is not good. Like let's say if I capture, she'll capture, and this is not good. This is ugly for me, super ugly for me. So I was like, okay, not to fall for any of these tricks. First, I will take the knight, and then I took the rook, and queen c. I check again. I don't know if she's attracted to this c5 square, because she was again and again giving me check on the same square. I was like, okay, queen c5 again, knight c3, and she took back the piece. She took back my knight. I was like, okay, fine, queen f3, queen g5 check, king b1, bishop f5, and I was like, okay, I always got bishop d3, and now I'm completely winning this game. If I mess this up, I'm an idiot. So I was like, okay, bishop e6, rook c1. So maybe and also at that point I was thinking, okay, I might go knight to b5. I was also thinking like Queen e4. Maybe I have some queen e4 ideas as well, but also this pawn was hanging, so I was like, okay, bishop e4, attacking the pawn. She went c6. Now here again I was calculating. Again, what I was calculating was bishop takes c6. I was like, was it working? Is it working? Because after, let's say, if I take, she takes, I calculated this line. And let's say if she goes there, I take, and then boom. I calculated this actually, but I was also like, I was like, okay, I mean, I don't know if I shouldn't be playing some risky chess. Also, I was like, okay, if I take, she might also take this. She might also take this. I was like, I don't know if it was working. Let me check the analysis here at this point. What if I take? Yeah, it's working. It's working. It's working. It's working indeed. So I should have gone for this line, but yeah, I was like, okay, just play safe chess. I went queen d3. She took my knight. Surprisingly, I was like, okay, wait, what is she trying going for a2? But I mean, I was like, okay, I would just take with the queen. And after queen, and I think queen a2, and queen a2 wasn't working because I always got queen king c2. So I was chilled. So she took with the bishop. And here I was thinking if I should go king c2 or king a1. I was like, no, I'll go king a1. And this was actually a bluff by me. King a1. I was like, okay, give me a discover check, give me a discover check. But and she indeed fall for my trap. She went bishop d5 check, forgetting that the queen was a loose piece and I will just capture the queen. I was offering her the queen trade just a few seconds ago, and yeah. And also, if this was a dark squared bishop, that it could have been, yeah, but no. And after queen takes a5, she resigned, and I was like, okay. I told her that this was an unfortunate loss. I mean, this was not, I mean, okay, I mean, in the opening was already, from the opening itself I was completely winning, but yeah, this was an unfortunate way to lose. And yeah, now I was 4.5 out of 8, and now I was like, okay, I need to win the last game, whoever it is. And I was like, I think I will get an unrated player. I was so confident, but then I was like, then I got the pairing against this guy, Mukil R, 14-10, and this guy, I had faced him in one rapid tournament. That was when I first received my FIDE rapid rating, and in the sixth, or I guess in the seventh round, I won against this guy in a rook pawn endgame, and that was a great game by me. And I was like, okay, I got a rematch against this guy, and this time it's classical. So yeah, at that time he was, I guess, under time pressure, some time pressure, but this is classical. So yeah, I need to be careful against this guy. So and and before the match, I told him that we this is our rematch. I met him. I told him this is our rematch. We had played against each other in one rapid tournament. So he was smiling and he was like, "Good luck." And yeah, I mean, I was like, "Okay, cool, sure, let's go, let's get this over with." So my opponent started off with e4, and here as always, I'm playing my opening Scandinavian. d5. He took knight f6, knight c6, knight c3, takes, and here I got the first surprise. I don't know if he had studied this line before this game, because I think he might have studied against me. But he went h3, and I was like, what? What is that move? H3? Like, this is something new. This is like some, this Magnus. If Magnus was in this position against me, he would have gone h3. That makes sense. But this guy is going h3 like he got some balls. So I was like, okay, normal bishop f5. He went d4, and I went queen e4 check, hitting the pawn. This pawn is gone. He went bishop e3, takes, and rook c1, and now I went bishop e4. Now I knew, at this point I knew that he was going to win the pawn, but I was like, okay, after bishop e4, if he takes, I will go bishop c6, and my next move is king d8. I calculated this. His rook is going to get trapped. And I think this is what he also saw. So he went f3, and I was like, okay, bishop c6. I think he was playing this game a little with little fearfully he was playing this game. So now he was starting to develop pieces. Bishop e3. I went e6, opening up my bishop. He went knight e2, preparing for castle. I went check. which was unnecessary again. But he went knight c3, I castle, both side castle, and on the bishop to d6. Now I was hoping to place my bishop on g3. And I was like, okay, knight e4. He went knight e4, and I saw this move actually. Like I literally saw this move was coming, so I was like, okay, I will prepare. I will take the knight. I'll completely take the knight, and here again I was surprised that he took with the pawn. Actually, this is the best move by taking with the pawn, but I was like, if he takes with the bishop, then I always got c6, so I wasn't worried about that. But he took with the pawn, opening up the rook file. He's playing good. He's playing good so far, even after losing one pawn. So I went c6. He went e5, which was, I don't know why, because I mean, my idea was like, now okay, my bishop is kind of bad, but my idea is in the future this bishop b6 will target this pawn. So this pawn is a weak pawn, even though it's defended, but it's a weak pawn. Also, if this is a weak pawn, this is also a weak pawn, even though it's defended by the pawn. But yeah, rook f4. He went rook f4. He's going for rook h4 idea. So I was like, okay, I'm prepared. I will just bring my knight to d7. Now I was setting up a trap here. So obviously I saw that he's going to play rook h4. So I was like, okay, I will play h6, normal move. So which was what happened. But he went b4. And here I started to set up a trap. I went rook d8. Now my idea was I will take, my threat is to take on at e5. And this bishop is a loose piece. So I will take advantage of this. So he went rook h4. I went h6, defending the pawn. And now he went g4. And this is what I was like, okay, now this is game over for him. Knight takes e5. If you take, I take the bishop, and now this pawn is also getting hit along with this bishop. So and if bishop goes to f4, so g5 is coming. So I calculated everything at this point. So I was like, okay, now it's kind of good for me. Even bishop e4, I went knight g6, take, and after g5 I went h5, and I mean at this point I was like, okay, this is just winning for me. He went rook e4. I was like, okay, I will, if you take my pawn, I will go bishop e6. He took, bishop takes, and here he went rook c4. I was like, okay, takes, check, and now doubling up my rooks. He went king g3. I went rook d3, king f4. Now here I was thinking about taking the rook, but I was like, okay, let's take this rook. And I was like, oh, and he again after rook e4, and this is completely game over for him. I went rook d3. He played h4, defending the pawn, but it's no use. Here, I guess, here I was also thinking about this move, but I was like, I don't know why I didn't play it this way. I should have played this move. This pawn was also gone. But yeah, I went rook a3. He went b5, takes, rook b4, takes, and I defended all my pawns. Now I'm plus 3. I'm 3 pawns up, and this is game over for him. And here I managed to trade out the rooks. Takes, and then I tried to brought my king, and yeah, after this, yeah, this is game over. And yeah, and you know what happened, what happened was I was about to this move, I was about to bring another score sheet. I was about to ask arbiter about another score sheet, but he, at that point, he resigned the game because yeah. But also the thing is that what surprised me, what made me happy, was I defeated this guy again with the same rook pawn in game. And yeah, I mean, I don't know why he's, and I got a 2-0 score against this guy, 2-0 score against this guy. I mean, yeah, that was an insane game. And yeah, that was my round. That was my tournament. So with that, I managed to score 5.5 out of 9, and which was kind of good for me. And I mean, yeah, I mean, should I could have done better, but as I said, yeah, I was so close. So let me show you the rank, just a second. So this is the rank. Okay, wait, let me do this. Yeah, so this is the rank. I finished 83rd rank, and yeah, I mean, as you can see here I am, and I managed to gain 15.6 rating points, so, which was great for me. Like as I said, and as you can see, this guy, if I show you this guy's profile, I mean, you won't believe this guy just won every other games. He lost only one guy against one guy only, but that guy also played extremely well. But yeah, I was very happy to make a draw against this guy, and yeah. So yeah, that's all I got for today. I hope you enjoyed my these three recaps. These 3 days were super exhausting for me, and I'm glad that the tournament was over. I would especially like to thank again to my coaches, my trainers, Somil Nair and Andrew Horn, and we will be working together again on my further tournaments. So yeah, I'm hoping that my next tournament will go well and normal streams will be back again. And also, by the way, guys, there's an insane video coming up very soon, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's all I got for you today. You know the rules. Get out of here.